Alright, global people. Now here we are on JP, pretty much about to show you guys how to defeat the 4th floor of the demonic beast, giving you guys a full-on breakdown on each ability of each phase that the demonic bird on the 4th floor does, just to help you guys out for people who will be struggling or preparing to struggle against the demonic bird, because it is pretty grindy. Again, this mode is going to allow you to pretty much be able to Holy Relic enhance if you need to. It does give you a bit of CC. Now I did make a whole video using the Assault Meliodas pretty much enhancing his Holy Relic, and he only got like a 700 CC jump. But again, for some players or some whales, that might be actually useful, especially because eventually Holy Relic enhancement will have a 2nd tier from the other demonic beasts, and then eventually be a 3rd tier. So eventually you're gonna have to grind this regardless, but for now it's probably not that useful unless you're probably like a whale. But either or, we're still going to show you guys how to pretty much defeat it. All right, so this is going to be the team that I'm going to be showcasing for today's video on the full breakdown guide on the demonic bird 4th floor. And this is the team we're going to be rocking, featuring Thor, Megilda, Nanashi, and Freyr. Now this is going to be the gear set, being attack crit damage on my Thor, attack defense on Megilda, HP slash defense on Nanashi, and HP slash defense on Freyr. And this is going to be the artifact card set, being the 15% attack related stat boost one if you're using the same race. Now I'm gonna let you guys know, for players who get a little bit confused on who will get targeted, Freyr is most likely going to get targeted in this video, and that's because the boss, if you forget what color the demonic bird is, he is a red boss, and for the most part he kind of prioritizes either the lowest HP character or the red or neutral color character, being Freyr. But I'm telling you right now, most of the time you're probably going to see Freyr get targeted, because again, he is the neutral color, rather than Megilda or Nanashi or Thor being targeted, because they are all blue. So again, keep that in mind. You might want to put a red timing link on Freyr if you're a little bit worried about that, because again, I know I've done it from my experience. He always gets targeted no matter what. I could have like the lowest low HP on Megilda, and Freyr will still always get targeted. I don't know why, but I feel like it's because the attribute thing. So again, you don't have to use this team. I've seen on also Twitter and stuff like that from a YouTuber named of Anto grandcross. He made this little guide, or kind of this image, showcasing all the characters that he's seen in videos of other YouTubers pretty much used to defeat the demonic beast on the 4th floor. You can see number 1, or I'm pretty sure it's not in order of best teams. It's probably just the teams that he's probably seen. So don't take the numbers and stuff like that and be like, oh, the Scotty team is number 1, that means they're the best team. From what I've seen the Thor, Deanne, and Trader Melius and Megilda team be used a lot more than any team. So I believe that is going to be the more consistent team. Again, if you have any of these characters, you probably want to try out some of these teams. If not, you can see also they have my team, which is the 8th one. So again, if you are a person who is looking to defeat the demonic 4th floor, you might want to try to build these characters. All right, so pretty much I'm going to give you guys the full-on breakdown of the 4th floor of the demonic bird, or you can call it like the transcendent mode, or whatever you want to call it. Again, I'm going to do a breakdown for each phase just so you guys aren't confused. Now this is going to be a team that I use primarily. Again, this is not the best team. I believe the other best team is going to be featuring Valentine's Deanne and also Trader Meliodas. That team is a very consistent team that I've seen a lot of people run, but this is a team if you don't have Valentine's Deanne or Trader Meliodas Holy Relic. Again, you can swap out Trader Meliodas for probably Freyr and you'll be fine. But it all depends on, obviously, your box AC and stuff like that. Again, this is a more casual player type of team, because again, not everybody summoned on Valentine's Deanne, nor did everybody make Trader Meliodas Holy Relic. So again, we would do a full breakdown guide on this. Again, I got my little notepad ready and stuff like that. So now the one thing you want to know about this demonic beast is that for this one, he will pretty much apply a skill disable and attack reduction every 2 turns. And this could be a little bit annoying because again, having your skills disabled could mean that it's going to take a little bit longer to deal damage. But since we have Miguelda, you want to try to use Miguelda to kind of get rid of those disabled debuffs, especially because for this bird, he also gets a defense increase for every debuff applied to you. So the more debuffs you have on you, the more defense he gets. Now, the whole bad thing about this is because if you don't know, pretty much for him, he has an attack, an AoE attack that is based on defense power. So you already can tell the problem with that is that because you're getting so much debuffs on you, his defense power is going to be increased, which means that AoE attack is going to hit super hard, and that is going to be a big issue. So right now it's okay because again, you don't have really that many debuffs on you, and again, he can apply a lot of debuffs. So like I said before, it's going to be on the second turn. Like you can see right there, he has a red card. That red card will be the disable. And that's what you want to worry about. That's why you see with me, I didn't really use my Miguelda cleanse card because again, I already know that I needed to save up for that disable. And I believe it doesn't have any restriction on how long it takes for that disable to go away. So that's why you really want to keep that Miguelda cleanse card. And again, you want to also do this while trying to preserve silver cards for the next phase. Again, this is going to be really nice for the next phase if you start building up your silver cards, because it's going to be very necessary. That's why you see right here, I'm just moving cards, just trying to get as many silver cards as possible. But if you need to use it, use it. And there goes the debuff right there. Oh wait, where's the debuff? I believe it's right here. Yeah, it's right here. Did I say the red debuff? It might be the red debuff. I don't know card order, but I know one of those cards is going to apply it every 2 turns. I believe it was the red card. The other one was like basically other attack cards. And you can see right here, I'll go for the cleanse. And it disabled most of the disable effects, except for the one on Miguelda, because Miguelda got bleed on her first. And again, the disable lasts pretty much forever. So you want to have another cleanse card, especially for the next phase. Now this is phase 2. And as you see right there, I'm instantly going for my silver cards. Now, the important thing about this phase right here is that for every 2 turns, you receive an attack power of 1,000% of your attack power. So to avoid this, you will need a special shield. Now, the only way to get this special shield to nullify it is you want to apply 3 silver cards or level 2s to the bird, because then you'll get a I think it's called, it's like a sacred, I think it's like sacred blessing. That's what it is. I think it's like sacred blessing. And once you have this shield, you'll be able to deal 300% more damage. And once you get the shield, you want to use the character who still have the shield intact to pretty much attack, because again, they will deal a lot more damage to the bird. And now, as you can see right here, because I don't have the shield, I'm probably not gonna do as much damage. So you're gonna tell right here, I'm not gonna do that much damage. And that's because I don't have the shield yet. Look at how much damage I'm doing. But you can see the little gray debuffs right there. As once I hit 3 from using 3 silver cards, that's when I'm going to get the second blessing next turn. Now you don't have to do that. Like I said, for the 1000% damage thing happens every 2 turns, so you don't have to do a first turn. That was technically a safe turn for myself. Again, you just want to have it procced on the second turn, but the more cards you get is the better. Because like right here, this is where you see he has the red card. And again, that red card is going to be that 1000% attack power for the bird. And if you don't have a shield on none of your characters, it'll pretty much wipe you. Now again, I know you're probably saying like, yo, Marilli, Frere doesn't have a shield, so is he going to be gone? No, because I have the shield on all the other characters, it will pretty much nullify it. And again, you're going to see with the shields, I'm going to start doing a lot more damage with my characters. Except for Frere, because Frere does not have the shield. So watch the difference. So look at the Nashi damage. Look at that, 544. Look at that, Thor, 544. And look at Frere. Watch this. Look at that, 327. All right, Frere did way less damage than all my characters. Like I said before, because he has the shield. And that was the nullified damage thing. Like I said before, it will happen every 2 turns. So you want to make sure you have the character with a shield. So if I really wanted to, this would be a safe turn for myself right here. Just because, again, he doesn't have the red card yet. But for the next turn, I'm definitely going to need a 3 hand of level 2s just because I want to get that shield. Because again, the 1000% attack power happens every 2 turns. So like I said, this is a safe play or a safe turn for myself. So I can just waste any type of card and I don't have to get worried about getting wiped. And also when you get into low in terms of the percentage of his HP, this is where you want to try to preserve these 3 types of cards, like a Power Strike, an Amplify card from Miguelda, and your Thor cards. You want to try to preserve those cards as much as possible because you're going to be needing those cards for phase 3. Again, yeah, there's a lot of gimmicks going on the Transcendent Demonic Beast, and this is going to be very helpful for you guys. So I'm letting you guys know you want to try to preserve those cards once you start seeing the HP get lowered. But right here, this is where I'm gonna go for my sacred blessing play, because again, he has that red card right there, and with that red card, he is going to blast me if I don't have a shield up. So you want to make sure you have those silver cards ready. Luckily, I was able to get a perfect merge from just wasting cards, so I am able to get that sacred blessing. But if I did not get it, I would have been pretty much gone. Yeah, it's just a lot of gimmicks going on right now. I know it's a whole bunch to see, but again, this is all gonna be worthwhile. Now he's gonna have his ultimate, unless his AoE. Yeah, his AoE happened first, and then I think he's about to ult right here. I think he had his ult. Never mind, he lost it because of the Nashi buffs. Now this is where I said before, if he starts having his HP low enough, you want to try to preserve your Amplify cards. Right now, you see I'm kind of wasting it because, again, my HP is he's pretty low. So the only 2 characters I have a shield on is Miguelda and Thor. So I'm like literally thinking super hard right now on if I want to waste these cards or if it's gonna be enough damage. Because again, I have 2 Miguelda cards, which is gonna be really nice for the phase 3. But Thor having cards is also really nice. Again, I kind of like just debating like super hard on what I should do, and I just end up deciding on just using Miguelda card just because I don't really need it that much like I do Thor cards. So she's gonna do full damage right here, and because she has the shield, like I said before, the shield lets you do 300% more damage. Now this right here is the hardest, and I mean hardest thing when it comes to the bird. This has the most gimmicks possible, and this is where people could end up having a perfect run be ruined. Now I'm gonna break it down like this. As you see on the screen, the bird has 10 immortality buffs, and the only way to remove these buffs is either from using the Thor card, because she's a strong character, an Amplify card, or a Power Strike card. Now the reason why I'm saying Power Strike card is because with Miguelda ult actually takes away one of those immortality buffs, which kind of lets people know that Power Strike will let you pretty much get rid of the immortality buff. Now that's only if you are not disabled. If your character from Miguelda from any of these turns, either from phase 3 or phase 1, is still disabled, and she tries to use one of those cards while being disabled, it will not remove any of the immortality buffs. I'm letting you guys know right now, if you see your Miguelda is disabled and you try to use the Amplify card or her ultimate, she will not take away any immortality buffs. Again, a lot of people get confused. They be like, why did I not be able to take away any immortality buffs? And then it's probably because your character was disabled that turn, which means it will not work. So again, you want to use those 3 type of cards, being Amplify, Thor cards, or Power Strike, to remove those immortality buffs if you're not disabled. Now, the one crazy thing about Thor, or the demonic bird in general, because she's a strong character, is that the thing is, if you do not crit the bird when using a skill against the bird, he will get an increased damage dealt buff. Now hear me out. If you attack with a character who cannot crit, and he will get an increased damage dealt buff, but if you use Thor, who does crit, she will take away 2 of those increased damage dealt buffs, and she is going to just pretty much make this phase pretty much trivialize. As pretty much what you want to end up doing is you always want to try to use Thor card last, because again, he only gets a max stack of 3. So Thor being able to take away 2, if you use, I don't know, like let's say you use 2 or 3 Miguel's amplified card, you can use Thor card at the very end to take away 2 of those 3 increased damage dealt stacks, because again, Miguel is not going to crit, but Thor will most likely crit on this demonic beast. So that is one of the issues of what people complain about, because again, Thor seems like a very must unit if you want to pretty much farm the demonic beast, because you will struggle a lot on this part if you don't have Thor because of those increased damage dealt buffs, because the bird hits super hard. Again, a lot of players have like Valentine's Deanne, which Valentine's Deanne can nullify most of that damage because she's kind of broken, having that damage reduction and basic stat boosting. But again, if you don't have Thor, this is going to be a very hard struggle on defeating this phase in general. And that's why I said before, this is the one where it has the most gimmicks and a lot of players rage quit, because he also has this annoying thing where if you played floor 3, I believe phase 3, each turn he applies a gray debuff on you that disables each skill's effect, or each skill effect, or each skill. Being the first turn, I believe it's going to be stance. The second turn, it'll be buff. And third turn will be debuff. And then the fourth turn, if you do not kill the demonic bird, he will apply a attack seal, which means you pretty much lost the entire game. And then I'm pretty sure the fifth one is just pretty much ult seal. So you have to get rid of the demonic bird in about 3 to 4 turns. Well, let's just say 3 turns, because the fourth turn you're gonna get an attack sealed. So yeah, keep that in mind. That's why I had to at least explain that to you guys. And again, I'm gonna just let the gameplay go. Again, I know it's a crazy explanation. Right now, I pretty much noted a lot of the stuff that goes on, because I have played it a couple of times and tried out many types of teams. Now, there's also a person or people saying like, could you use Albedo amplify counter card for the demonic bird? And I don't know if I'm gonna show gameplay of it, but I'm just gonna answer it right now. It will not work. Okay, if you use Albedo's amplified counter card, it does not work. You have to use an actual skill. And the problem with Albedo as well is because the demonic bird also has a 500% damage reduction towards counter. So if you're going to use Albedo, guess what? You are going to do no damage with her counter. I know Albedo was super broken for you during floor 1, 2, and 3. Well, on floor 4, her counter does absolutely no damage. I'm kidding you not. Like, you might as well use I promise you, Twiggo would do more damage than Albedo counter. Even with 30 buffs stacked on her, she's doing absolutely no damage. That's how hard they have counter Albedo when it comes to the demonic beast, because they already know, bro, she is going to be super broken. So they made sure to apply that 500% damage reduction counter to make sure you can't do any of that. And again, there's also another passive on the bird as well, being that you can't use characters with a that gives gauge to your characters. So LR Liz is pretty much useless. That's why you see in most of these demonic beasts, nobody using LR Liz, because again, the bird has a specific passive where he gains 1000% damage if you use a character that gives you gauge, being from I think it's like passive or ult skill. So again, that is going to be tough. And you probably already see right there, he applied the gray debuff on me right now, which I believe is where you can't use a stance. Yeah, this is where you can't use a stance. So again, this is the first turn. And you see I'm pretty much wasting cards as much as possible right now, because we want to try to free up our hand. Again, he has 6 more stacks of immortality. And Miguel used up 1. Now, again, this is not a perfect run, guys, by the way. I don't know if I mentioned at the beginning of the video. This is not a perfect run. This is a video with me trying to break down pretty much all of the passives and skills for Demonic Beast. I already have a video where pretty much I defeat the Demonic Beast, and it was actually a super fast run because I got super lucky at pulling Thor cards. So it was a super fast run. And now this one is a disabled, I think disabled debuff. It's either debuffs or buffs. This one is, and the next one would have been buffs, and then the 4th one would have been attack seals. So this is where I'm going to show you guys that with Miguelda, she will take away the immortality buff stack as well. So you see I'm at 4 right now, but I'm going to use 3 cards to take away, or 2 cards right now. So you see I cleanse up the debuff. Now let me go back to this. All right. As well, see, look at this. My Miguelda is disabled buff. I said disabled debuffed. So if I would have attacked right here without cleansing, this ultimate would not be able to take away this immortality buff. Just let you know, if I would have just let this stay, this would not have been able to take away an immortality buff. For anybody who's wondering why I just cleansed right there. And you see how I took away one of the stacks because I had 4, now it's at 3, and this should be another one, which is now is at 2. Now if I get another Thor card or Amplify card, we're going to the next phase, and we got another Amplify card from Miguelda. So you want to use those 2 cards, and then at the very end, use another card, because again, you want to try to make sure you get rid of those immortality stacks. And you already see right there, that should be buff seal. And again, like I said before, the last one or the 4th turn will be attack seal, which means you pretty much lost the game. And now all this stuff will be removed when you get to the next phase as well too. So you don't have to worry about that. And again, guys, this is not going to be me just beating the bird right here. Again, this is just me pretty much trying to explain the passives. If you want to see me do a run where I'm defeating the bird, check out my latest video on Demonic Beast using Thor. This is just a breakdown guide. And you can see right here, I'm already at a bad start because again, I didn't pull no Thor cards. You want to make sure you have as many Thor cards as possible on this one. And it's because on this, he has a pretty interesting gimmick as well. Now, if you ever played Floor 2, Phase 3, when a bird is at 70% HP, he will get a defense buff. And when he's at between 50 to 30%, he gets an HP related buff. And 30% Allure, he gets an attack buff. And when the bird will attack you, you will receive a special debuff called, like, I think like Demonic Bird Wrath. And if you stack 7, you instantly are gone, because you'll be dead to the poison. And every 2 turns, he gets a basic stat and evasion buff at the same time. And that's why I say before, some players use Trader Meliodas instead of this type of team, because you get to try to you get to avoid that basic stat and evasion buff by removing it with Trader Meliodas ultimates, which again is really fire. That Trader Meliodas is actually having some super usage. And again, this is a very high risk, high reward team that I'm running right now. It's not the most consistent, just because of sometimes you get bad RNG. But again, most of the teams are like that. Even when it comes to the Trader Meliodas team, is that it is very RNG based, which is unfortunate, but sometimes it happens like that. And you can see right here, I'm kind of like debating if I should go from ultimate. I should have probably went for Freyr ultimate, low key. Just because Freyr ultimate would have been way better in terms of damage. So right there you can see, because he was at between 30 and 50%, he got a HP buff. Now you can also see he also got an HP buff, and that's not HP buff, an increased all stat buff. Now, reason why he has an increased all stat buff is because if he stacks up like on phase 3, if he stacks up 3 of those increased damage dealt buffs from your characters not critting him, or if you're not using a Thor card, he will then get an increased stat buff from those 3 stacks. So the only way you want to stop that, or can stop that, is by using a Thor card to then remove those two increased damage dealt buff like you did on phase 3. Which is why most players would say if you're really trying to grind or farm this bird, you will need to use Thor. And unfortunately right now I have literally no Thor cards, so I'm pretty much gonna be losing this. But at least you guys get to see the strats and pretty much what you want to worry about when it comes to this demonic beast. So I try to ult right here, and he also has this passive where he revives at like 50% HP once you kill him. He has another one as well where if he falls below 25% of his HP, I think it's like, yeah, it's like 25% of his HP, he gets like full HP. Now again, it all depends on RNG, whichever passive you get. The best one is the one where if he falls below 25% HP, he pretty much full heals, because again, you can just go beyond that damage cap with Thor and pretty much blast him so he doesn't get that revive. So that's why you see right now I'm just trying to ult cheese. But if I would have got that like I said before, if I would have got the, what's it called, the HP, if I would have got the one where he falls below 25% HP thing, I probably could have won, just because I had all these ultimates set up. But I just had bad RNG. Sometimes it happens when you're using this type of team. Sometimes you get like a million Thor cards, and that is enough to pretty much let you win. And again, you can also see the special debuffs that I said before, which is the wrap debuffs. And again, if I had like 7 stacked up on Prayer, I would be pretty much dead the next turn after. And I try to like cleanse something, but you can see right there he already infects me. So you don't really want to stall this demonic beast. I already know it was kind of a waste, but I had like literally no cards. Like this would have been nice if I had the revive thing, then I would have tried to like push for it as much as possible. But you can probably see that I'm probably gonna be already gone. Like I try to reset it, but it didn't even work out. I tried to reset, but it was already GG. I might just show you guys one of my other runs where I pretty much already won, just so you guys know it's like possible. It's not like this team sucks or anything like that. It's just like you sometimes get bad RNG that kind of ruins your run. Like look how much damage Thor just did. If I had like 3 Thor cards, it would have been GG. So yeah, that is going to be the full-on breakdown guide when it comes to using Thor on the demonic beast. And I'm probably going to show you guys one of my other runs where pretty much I defeated this floor, and I think it was like super fast too. So this is my other run where pretty much I was farming it pretty fast, if I'm not mistaken. I think I got to go to the very end, because this is where I was going crazy with RNG. Like I was just getting like Thor cards left and right, and it's gonna be me playing on phase 4. Like I said before, Thor makes it pretty much trivialized. And I think, wait, what passive did I get? I think I got a really good one. Oh dang, did I missed it? All right, let me show it right here, just so you guys can see the passive that I'm talking about, where it's like, I think it was the 25% or lower one where he revives passive. I think that's the one I got. It'll be like a little sword thing popping up and stuff like that. Okay, no. Okay, it was a revive one. Okay, so yeah, there's another one where pretty much you get like 25% and he fully heals. That's the other one. This was the revive one, what we seen last one. I forgot which. I did like another run. Oh yeah, that's what it is. I did another run because I did like a solo Meliodas video, of course, using the Holy Relic enhancement, where I got that passive, and it was actually really, really good because it kind of saved my run a little bit. But yeah, like I said before, Thor it's just spamming cards and stuff like that, and she's gonna literally proc the whole revive from using 3 cards. That's why I said on the last run, if I had like 3 cards from Thor, it would have been GG, bruh. Just because like Thor just hits so hard when she got that Thor what's it called, Thunder Judgment. She hits super hard, bro. Like I'm telling you right now, like she's a very powerful PvE unit. And again, with this, it's pretty much GG. Like I said before, there's some stuff you gotta worry about when it comes to the demonic beast. But if you have Thor, she pretty much trivialized a lot of those things. And we just ults, and then boom, GG. Thor just finished it off. And then that's pretty much it, man. And like I said, and like what you gotta do before, if you do defeat the demonic beast, you can always try to reset. Now the way of resetting is gonna be pretty interesting right here. I think I showcase it. Is that you have to use a win source right here. You see right there, it's showing like you can use a win resource. Now you cannot change team. I've seen people confused about this, be like, yo, Marilli, can I change team if I defeat the fourth floor? No, you cannot change team, but you can reset using the same team. You just gotta hope that team that you're going to be using for the fourth floor is a very consistent team. I'm probably going to pretty much at the beginning talk about the teams that I've seen people showcase and stuff like that. But for now, I'm gonna let you guys know right now, if you're going to do the fourth floor, make sure it's a team that is very consistent and that you want to use to grind and farm. And hopefully this guide or breakdown guide could help you guys out. Again, I know it's a lot of gimmicks you got to remember and stuff like that, but it's it's the demonic beast, bro. Like, it's annoying. It's grindy. It's just another thing to grind if you are interested in getting the Holy Relic enhancements. Again, I know it's going to be more enhancements coming soon for other demonic beasts. So again, hopefully this guide helps you out the most. Make sure you guys like and subscribe again. This is Marilli, guys, and I'm out. Peace.